Wildlife Pro Photos and Grand Komodo Tours present Indonesia. Sandwiched between the Pacific and Indian Oceans, Indonesia is home to the most abundant marine biodiversity in the world. We visit the areas of Alor, Ambon, Triton Bay, and Raja Ampat. I love visiting this ancient and developing land for many reasons, including the remote, lush, secluded beaches and dive spots, the warm, calm tropical waters, and the windswept white beaches bathed in crystal clear azure waters. Come with me and Paul as we look through the eyes of Neptune and explore the many sights of this breathtaking yet fragile world natural wonder. From the edge of the abundant palm trees, we begin our journey examining the soft corals of Indonesia. Soft corals do not build future foundations for other corals, but are long-lived and very colorful. I was lucky to be traveling over 2,500 kilometers by boat on this journey and observed many healthy coral ecosystems. These wonderful living creatures not only provide essential nutrients to these areas, but also offer juvenile fish food and shelter from bigger predators. I love to sit and watch the fish interact at the edges of these underwater cities. The different sights and colors are out of this world. As I spend the little time I have on each dive looking and being part of this paradise, even if only temporary, I often wonder if all humans could see this with their own eyes, would they do more to preserve it? It is so beautiful to watch and float over, and so peaceful of an environment that I decided to spend some time examining the abundant variety of life in these areas. I observed many fish and coral interactions and wondered if there was even more life to be found within the soft corals themselves. I was careful and patient not to disturb these fragile marine animals, and my patience paid off. Here I found a 2-centimeter long transparent soft coral commensal shrimp. I found that the shrimp enjoys a mutual symbiotic relationship with the soft coral and is well protected by its transparency from predators. Commensal shrimps can be found in other areas as well, as their camouflage offers them protection in any environment. See how this one blends in? Banded shrimp, on the other hand, are more visible and use the harder corals to hide. Throughout my dives, I saw many barrel sponges like these ones. Some were as big as 10 feet across. Research tells me that they live for over 75 years and have no organs. When I had a closer look, I came across this little guy. He's called a hairy squat lobster. He is about the size of a nickel and very shy. Paul and I had to spend a lot of time waiting to get these images, but it did pay off. Other squat lobsters like these ones are found on coral areas just about everywhere. As I leave the soft corals and go to different coral colonies, I came across so many vivid and vibrant living creatures. I wish I didn't have to travel so far to view such beauty. Again, I decided to have a close look at these soft corals, and here I found a spider crab, smaller than a dime. Look how he uses the coral parts to blend in with its host. This other crab managed to catch a tiny shrimp in mid-flight. He too was less than 1 centimeter tall. This juvenile hermit crab only comes out at night, hoping to avoid any confrontation, as does this porcelain crab. Here arrowhead crabs are bothered by the camera light and soon vanish. On 2 special dives, I found these small skeleton spider crabs. I asked Paul to film them, and watching them I never did see their eyes. Maybe it's because they were so small. The diameter of these crabs were the size of a dime. This red one was more identifiable. As was this peach one. Notice the color match on the coral branches. Orangutan crabs are so fascinating. On a night dive, I was lucky to find this one outside of a shelter. I asked Paul to film it, and we were treated to a wonderful spectacle. Orangutan crabs are about the size of a dime and normally very shy and motionless. This decorator crab was just mesmerizing to watch, and it looks like it had a bad hair day. With the boat relocating, I was able to look and study coral walls and sea fans. Gorgonian sea fans are so spectacular to watch for their shapes, colors, and immense sizes. They too are very long-lived and play an essential role in coral reef ecosystems. Their colors also range the rainbow gamut, and they can also grow on vertical walls. Viewing them from shallow waters is very special since their colors are so vibrant. But to see the big ones, we have to go a bit deeper. The colors are not as spectacular due to the water's color shielding properties, but the size of these tree-like animate beings is beyond fascinating. This one was more than 30 feet across. The sights offered by these locations are inspirational and breathtaking. Again, I got closer to see what life I could find. I asked Paul to get closer and have a look at these skeleton shrimp. They are 3 millimeters in length and only 1 millimeter wide. Sometimes they are found in the millions on a sea fan, such as this one. The most beautiful sight, however, are the pygmy seahorses, just like this endemic Raja Ampat seahorse. Without any lights, they look dull. But turn the lights on and voila! The seahorse's eyes are sensitive to lights, so I asked Paul to be careful. No, that's not a seahorse, it's a fan slug. Ah, that's better. These are known as barky banty seahorses, about 1 centimeter long. Look at the pregnant one. Like other seahorses, the males carry the brood. I learned that pygmy seahorses are only found in Pacific tropical waters, and only in these kinds of fans. This small one is about 1 millimeter wide and 4 millimeters long and is called a hippocampus. It sure blends in well. I'm glad we had a zoom. While we were at the Raja Ampat Dive Resort, we did a lot of dives at the boat jetty. At the edge of the jetty, I found this little guy. I had never seen that before, and I showed it to Paul. It wasn't until he moved around a bit and showed a shape that I was able to figure out what he was. It's a very rare pipe horse. Basically halfway between a seahorse and a pipefish. They were only discovered in 2007 near the land-based Straits in northern Sulawesi, but as we can see clearly here, they can also be found in Raja Ampat. That was a special treat. Near Ambon, we came across deserted areas of hard and soft coral, and it must have been the spawning season. Corals were spawning everywhere. This is a rare occasion and a spectacle to see. The result of a spawn is vast slopes of healthy coral forests. As the corals grow, life begins to form, and soon the corals are teeming with life. Hard corals are a paradise for small juvenile fish who use the hard tentacles of the corals to shield themselves from the predators. I looked at and studied these areas and was amazed by what I found. Such abundant and diverse life in such a concentrated area. These elkhorn corals are favored by many species. What did Paul find? Oh wow, a banded sea snake! Indonesia is world famous for its large concentration of sea snakes. They are among the most venomous in the world, but they are also very docile, so I got close to examine them. Here they are hunting with trevallies. They work together to hunt prey. The snakes could easily kill the trevallies, but since they are too big for them to eat, there's no point. I learned that sea snakes will only kill what they can swallow whole. This made getting close to them a safe experience I will never forget. Gununapi is the only place in the world where you can get so close and see so many. Oh, look at this! I found a trumpetfish and snake pair. I had seen that before early in the journey, but with, yes, a pufferfish. Here the trumpetfish does like he did with the snake. He uses the pufferfish to help him hunt. The spines on this pufferfish, by the way, are 1,300 times more deadly than cyanide. I always like looking at cephalopods like these cuttlefish. Cephalopods are highly intelligent and can manufacture tools. Their color and skin tone change are always fascinating to watch. Here, an adult cuttlefish caught a parrotfish. This adult cuttlefish goes through a series of texture and color changes. It's so subtle, you hardly notice it. This was the color at the beginning of the last sequence. I love doing night dives because of all of the wonderful things that we get to see. Including this box crab. Look at his eyes retract. Hermit crabs are always fun to observe. Lobster dens are a rare but always a treat. Maybe I will look a little bit more on the ocean floor and see what else I can find. One thing I saw a lot on this trip was decorator crabs. Decorator crabs use their environment to camouflage themselves. These ones use various soft corals and are so funny to watch. This spider crab was a beauty. As was this coral crab. What did Paul find now? Oh, a juvenile flounder. And what's that? An adult flounder feeding. Wow, what a sight and tongue. Tube worms are always fun to watch, and they only come out at night. Again, this lovely little slug is so poisonous, and its sting can be deadly. Starfish really do more than stay still. This is the actual speed this guy is sprinting. Garden eels are so much fun to watch and swim over, but they are colorless. Giant marble rays are fascinating. Much like this juvenile. And adult ribbon eels. Notice the color change? Now that's something new, a juvenile crocodile fish. Always found on the bottom, when they grow up they really do look like crocodiles, but are in the fish family. Now this is the ultimate bottom dweller. Look at how the sea cucumber feeds itself. Throughout our journey, I found the most fascinating little creatures of all. They are known as nudibranches, or nudies for short. Long thought to be slugs, they are in a different family. The striking thing about them is their tiny size and amazing details of colors and shapes. Like this one, called a Pikachu. The border colors are fluorescent. Look at the color schemes. Amazing. Perhaps the most interesting is the fact that they measure no more than a few centimeters. One of the most sought-after nudie is the Spanish dancer. You can guess how he got that name. Life on the tropical coral reefs is very complex and diverse. Juvenile batfish who are black at birth, will look like this later. They are very social and curious. Juvenile sweet-lipped fish, on the other hand, look lost and confused. They are much more relaxed as adults. Jawfish emerge from their holes to fish with unseen speed. Tiny blennies are vulnerable in the open. So they choose openings in coral heads and hide in there. Crab-eye gobies look so funny in how they swim. This goby flicks his fin to attract a mate. Looking closely at the bottom of the ocean floor, I saw these tiny gobies with even smaller shrimp. What a weird pairing. I also decided to look closely at a strange species of fish called wrasses. They are so funny to watch in the way they look and swim. Almost like string puppets. They have names like Razor, Reindeer, Clown, and Gamard Grass. On the edge of the reef is where schools of fish can be found, like these triggerfish and butterfly fish. These ones seemed curious and playful, so I convinced Paul to put his hand on the coral to see what would happen. They thought he could use a marine manicure. I came across this and couldn't believe my eyes. It looked like these fusiliers were at the dentist. I researched and found that some wrasses are called cleaner wrasses. They go all around other fish and eat the parasites off them, even in their mouths. Fish seem to like this and will stand still as the cleaning is happening. The wrasses could easily be eaten by the bigger fish, but a trust and need relationship seems to have been struck a long time ago. The ultimate trust is seen here. It's okay, he's coming back out in a few seconds. There he goes. Look at this sweet lips extend his mouth to have a good dental cleaning. Truly amazing to watch. Some shrimp are also cleaners. Paul just had to try his luck at getting his teeth cleaned. Next, I want to show you these beautiful clownfish. Oh my, look at this! The mantas are back. Yes, here they come. Every year in Raja Ampat, from January to May, giant manta rays measuring up to 20 feet across descend on the seamounts of Raja Ampat for a much-deserved wrasse and goby cleaning. Just like a car wash, they line up at the edge of the reef where wrasses and gobies congregate. The nutrient-rich winter currents bring them here this time of year. They are so graceful, I just had to get under one for a closer look. Manta rays are harmless to humans and have no stingers. They are curious and love to play with the divers in these waters. Once they reach the edge of the reef, they will hover and the tiny fish will start to eat all the parasites off of them. So much fun to watch. We are so lucky to witness the natural spectacle, so lucky to share our time with these graceful, gentle giants. Sadly, just as quick as they came, they leave for the blue yonder. Now let me show you the clownfish I was going to show you before. Follow me. Here we will see some of the most colorful anemones on Earth. Look at these colors. bright pink is almost fluorescent and almost looks like a camera trick. I assure you it is not, and these are their natural colors. This is one of the rare places where you can see this color contrast, and it is special to witness. Other anemone species roll up in a ball when they are eating, which forces the resident clownfish to hover outside temporarily. Clownfish always live in anemones, since they provide food, shelter, and protection to them. The anemones feed on other types of fish and invertebrates. There are many different species of clownfish, and they are all majestic in their motion and fun to watch as they swim about. I looked a bit closer at the anemone and found other creatures in them, such as this false crab, also known as an anemone crab. Look at the webbed claws he uses to catch the fish. Amazing. Other creatures in the anemone are the anemone shrimps. They are so wonderful to look at and are just as transparent as the commensal shrimps. But they are more colorful since they don't need to have as much stealth. Bubble coral is found in tropical waters, and they too carry tiny shrimp in them. These shrimp are less than 1 centimeter long. Other unique coral reef life in the Pacific Rim include the small fish that is found here called dragonets. They are always found on the ocean floor. Clown triggerfish look hand-painted. Scorpionfish like to walk when they can. They blend in when they are motionless. Reef hawkfish have little crosses on their fin tops. Jellyfish look confused. Barramundi fish round up some of the species we can see here. There are, however, a host of strange and exclusive fish in the Arian Jaya Triangle. I was looking at these little glass fish when I saw something moving underneath. It is a wobbegong shark which is endemic to these waters and patrols the reef looking for the next easy meal. Such a sight to look at. On the night dive, I saw these shrimp fish. And the laser clam. This Pegasus sea moth is less than 2 centimeters long. This next fish is called a toadfish and again is endemic to the Raja Ampat area. They do have one of the most unique looks I have ever seen. They even have legs. This fish is called a leaf fish. Look, has emotions like a leaf and then eats. Ghost pipefish come in many varieties and look like leaves as well. Look down and you will see the eyes move. I was amazed to see that. This one looks like a green leaf, but again pointing downwards. Look closely and you can see his eyes. They really do behave like string puppets. The eyes of the mantis shrimp are the most complex of the animal world and are mesmerizing to look at. Notice the commensal shrimps in the back? The Raja Ampat area is home to the most unique cephalopod of them all, the mimic octopus. This juvenile is extremely rare and small, a very lucky find. This juvenile filefish is so cute and is only about 5 centimeters long. This juvenile boxfish is smaller than a dime and can easily be confused for drifting particles. This devilfish is graceful from the top and walks instead of swimming. The blue ring octopus seen here, fully grown, is less than 2 centimeters long. But don't let its size fool you, it is perhaps the deadliest sea creature. It clearly indicates its aggressive mood by flickering the blue rings. As seen here. Many species of pipefish can be seen here. Pipefish are part of the seahorse family and are so much fun to watch. Even when they are less than 3 millimeters wide and 3 centimeters long, they have clear facial expressions. These banded pipefish need better camouflage. Notice their target tails? Can you see the tiny hermit crab on the top left? It's about to tickle the sea clam. Dartfish are very fast and shy. These damselfish are fanning their eggs. This one put her eggs at the wrong place, and soon they will all be gone. I saw this turtle with 2 remors on its back. Later, when it got rid of them, it enjoyed a soft coral meal. Lionfish are so colorful to watch and come in a variety of species and colors. Their sting hurts, but it is not deadly. They are, however, ferocious hunters. Let's look at this in slow motion. They do have enemies, which include octopus. You see here, the lionfish respects the territory and stands back. Perhaps the strangest fish out there is called the bumphead parrotfish. I got lucky to get close to a group that was eating hard coral and asked Paul to join me. Listen as they break and eat hard coral. As the fish get older, the bump gets bigger, and it never stops growing. Look at the damage they can make on a coral edge. Titan triggerfish tear the coral off and look for small worms and invertebrates. A pufferfish does similar, but on the soft sand. I explored the coral reef so much and wondered where all the large schools of fish were. Then, just like the mantas, the school of fish started to show up. Massive schools of fusiliers, tangs, sweetlips were everywhere. White-eye jacks and barracudas joined the other countless schooling fish by the thousands. These unicorn fish have a single horn. The schools were so dense that sometimes Paul would lose his bearing. I managed to keep mine and enjoy the diversity. Swimming in these massive schools is among one of the richest experiences of my life. Suddenly the schools of yellow-tailed fusiliers descend on the reef and pandemonium ensues. Small fish disappear and a feeding frenzy starts. Fish swim in every direction in search of the weak, old, or sick. The smaller fish have decided to gather in large numbers of more than 100,000 deep. They swim in erratic patterns to confuse any attacks by the predators. The color shift spectacle was amazing to watch. Back at the surface, this one was picked up by a sand crab. For him and for us, it is the end of our journey. Until next time.